So have you ever noticed your phone just seems to have a total meltdown during the summer? Well, we're going to dive into the fascinating science behind why our phones get so incredibly hot when the weather heats up. And you know what? The answer is probably not what you think.
You absolutely know what I'm talking about, right? You're outside just trying to enjoy a beautiful day, and you feel your phone in your pocket and it's practically sizzling. And that battery percentage, it's just nosediving. So what is the deal?
And look, it is definitely not just you. This is something tons of people are noticing. It's like our phones all get a little summer fever at the same time.
But here's the good news. You can breathe a sigh of relief because your phone is almost certainly not broken. The real culprit here isn't some faulty hardware. Nope. It's just some pretty basic and honestly really cool chemistry happening right there in your hand.
Okay, so to get this, we have to meet the star of the show, the lithium-ion battery. This little guy is the powerhouse inside basically every smartphone, and it doesn't run on magic. It actually runs on carefully controlled chemical reactions.
I want you to think of your battery like a tiny, super organized dance floor. You've got these little lithium ions, and all they do is gracefully move from one side, the anode, to the other, the cathode. And that simple movement, that little dance, is literally what creates the electricity to power your entire phone.
Pretty straightforward, right? But here is where our story takes a turn. What happens when we introduce an outside force into this perfectly balanced little chemical dance? You know, something like the intense heat of a scorching summer day. Well, heat acts like an energy drink for those ions. It just kicks everything into high gear, making them move way, way faster. But, you know, faster isn't always better. All that extra fast movement creates more friction, more internal resistance. It's like a traffic jam inside your battery. And all that friction generates its own heat. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because that extra heat coming from the battery's frantic chemical reactions, believe it or not, that's only one part of the equation. There's a second heat source we haven't even mentioned yet.
Yep, your phone's brain, the processor, is always working. And just like our own brains, when it thinks hard, it heats up. So when you're using GPS to find that new beach spot, or you're scrolling your feed or playing a game, all of those things make the processor work hard and generate its own heat, totally separate from the battery.
So this brings us to the main event. What happens when the heat your phone is creating on the inside crashes head-on with the heat from the summer day on the outside? Well, you get what you could call a perfect heat storm.
Seriously? Your phone is fighting a battle on two fronts. It's getting baked by the sun from the outside, while at the same time it's being cooked by its own battery and processor from the inside. It's completely caught in a thermal crossfire.
And the end result of this perfect storm is exactly what you feel in your hand. The battery chemistry is in total overdrive, the processor is working overtime, and all that combined heat just has nowhere to go. That's why the battery drains so fast and why your phone gets so incredibly hot to the touch.
But then, the sun goes down, the air gets cooler, and suddenly, your phone starts acting normal again. This isn't just a coincidence. It's the second act of our chemistry story, the nightly cool down.
See, at night, that cooler air finally gives all that pent-up heat inside your phone a place to escape. As your phone gets to breathe and cool off, those frantic chemical reactions inside the battery finally slow down and get back to their normal, stable, and much more efficient pace.
So let's just quickly recap the whole thing. Your phone's battery is all about chemistry. Summer heat throws that chemistry into overdrive, which makes its own heat. On top of that, your phone's processor adds even more heat. And finally, it's the cool night air that lets everything cool down and get back to normal. Simple as that.
When you really stop and think about it, it's pretty wild. You are literally carrying a tiny, complex chemical reactor around in your pocket every single day. And that just leaves you with one last question to chew on. If there's this much science just going on inside your phone, what other hidden, invisible scientific forces are shaping the world all around you?